Hello friends, welcome back to Carla's Kitchen. Today we are doing a cheesy broccoli and rice casserole. You can certainly add cooked chicken to this, but we're doing the vegetarian version today. So what you're going to need is a 9x13 pan, some tin foil to cover the pan when it goes into the oven, a little bit of oil to lightly grease your pan. I've got a couple tablespoons of butter here and some breadcrumbs. We're going to make the toppings. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you can crush up some crackers instead. I've got cheddar cheese soup and a cream of celery soup. Additionally, onion powder, lemon pepper, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. You're going to want to use 2 cups of your favorite kind of rice. I'm using the Royal Blend, and you cook that to the package instructions. I know different rices have different, water requirements, etc. And the other item that I'm not showing here is I used frozen broccoli. You can certainly use fresh. If you're using frozen broccoli, I suggest doing half a, my bags come in 16 ounce, so 8 ounces of chopped broccoli and 8 ounces of broccoli pieces. That way you have some small and large pieces in your mix. So we're going to start off by preheating the oven to 350, and then we're going to meet at the stove. We're going to cook our broccoli and rice and begin assembling everything. Go into the dish, go into the oven. Here I've got my rice and broccoli all mixed up in the pot. They are cooked. Water is evaporated. So it's time to begin adding the additional components that I showed earlier. And you want to have your flame or your heat setting on a low heat at this point. We're just combining all the flavors before we get into the oven. I'm going in with my condensed soups. We're just going to get the whole can in there and then mix it up. And then I'm going to go in with about a cup of water, slowly adding while I stir. And it will be a little bit soupy, and that's okay because we're going to add some shredded cheese, which I forgot to put on the counter earlier. And the rice may absorb just a little bit more water while it's in the oven, so we don't want everything to seize up on us when we're cooking in the oven. So that's a pretty good consistency there. I'm going to come in with my seasonings, some lemon pepper to your taste, and if you don't care for lemon, leave this out. Just use regular pepper, some Italian seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and a little additional just plain pepper. Gonna mix that all around until all the seasoning is combined well. And we're gonna add our shredded cheese. It's about 8 ounces of cheese. Give that a good mix until it's thoroughly combined. We did use cheddar cheese soup, but we want this extra cheesy to have a little bit of a pull when you take it out of the dish. And the shredded cheese is going to do that for us. Okay, good to go. The cheese is already starting to melt. I'm going to turn my flame off, and I'll meet you back at the casserole dish. Alright gang, we're going to do a light greasing of the casserole dish. I chose olive oil. Use whatever you have available. And then we're simply going to take our pot and transfer the contents into the casserole dish. Make sure you scrape around and get all the good stuff in there. If you're going to add chicken, you can see how full my 9x13 is right now. I would suggest going a little lighter on the rice. I used 2 cups originally, so if you're adding any chicken in, sub in a cup of chicken or 2 cups of chicken and only go with 1 cup of rice. Just give that a little bit of a spread around there. And then we're going to tightly cover with some tin foil and go into our 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. When your casserole is almost done at the 15-minute mark, go ahead and melt your butter down, and we're going to add about a cup of breadcrumbs. Give that a good stir. Make sure everything is well incorporated. And if you choose, you can add any of the seasonings that we already added into the rice and broccoli mixture, the casserole itself, before it went into the pan, or you can simply go as is. I'm going to do a little just salt and pepper. And give that another good stir. If you find your breadcrumbs are sticking too much, you can add a little bit more breadcrumbs or just sort of give them a smush and persist with the stirring. You see how mine were clumpy and now they're loose. So those will just be buttery and crisp atop the casserole once we're all done here. Okay, and your mixture is ready to put on the casserole. We're just waiting for our timer for the 15 minutes. We'll pop that on, throw it back in the oven, and your casserole will be done. Once your casserole has been in the oven for 15 minutes, we want to gently, carefully remove the lid. Beware of steam. I can see it coming out already. And we're just going to go ahead and lightly sprinkle our breadcrumbs atop the casserole. If you like a thicker coating, maybe do a little more butter and breadcrumbs or crackers, whatever it is that you're using. We're going to do this uncovered back into the oven for 10 minutes, and then we're done. And there we have it, friends. Stay in the oven as long as you like to get as brown as you like. This is plenty for us. But if you want it a little darker, you can stay in a little longer than 10 minutes. That's up to you. I've made chicken as a side dish. It pairs really well, as I said. If you choose to incorporate the chicken into your casserole, you can certainly do that, but you see how full we are, so you'll want to pull back on some of the rice and broccoli that you've added in. Other than that, I do hope you try it out and enjoy. Let me know how it goes for you in the comments if you do give it a try. Thanks for stopping by today. Bye-bye.